Hey guys, Foxdrop here with a video on how to snowball and carry games, specifically as a mid laner, while looking at the lane phase. This video I want to analyze a game that I played as Zed in the mid lane and just go through the lane phase and talk about the stuff that I did well, the stuff I did badly, and also the stuff that the other team could have done to stop me from snowballing and carrying so hard, to the extent that I could then make 3v1 plays like you're seeing here in this example. Now, obviously, in every single game that you play, you're not going to be able to 3v1 people. That's actually going to happen quite rarely. And oftentimes, it's probably going to come down to your champion pick. A lot of champions can't do that. That's not up to it. Zed is probably one of the only ones who can. But still, this was a really, really good game to demonstrate how you can snowball and use that snowball to completely carry a game by yourself. I only want to look at the lane phase for this game, because I feel like that's where a lot of the magic really happens, and the rest of the game is more just me building upon what I already created through the lane phase. And I really want to analyze the plays that were made, the mistakes that were made, and just really demonstrate to you guys how this stuff came to be. Now, I know Zed is an extremely strong champion right now. I'm not using this to, I don't want you to discredit what's going on here just because I'm playing Zed. Really, obviously, if you feel like the biggest reason why I'm snowballing and winning these games is because I'm playing Zed, then I would disagree with that. But still, right off the bat here is quite an important thing to talk about. Like, even before I can see the enemy mid laner, this is an important strategy right now. I'm kind of last hitting, but I'm also kind of pushing too. And what I want to do here, the aim of me doing this, is to try and achieve an early level 2. I want to get level 2 before Ari does. As you can see as well, I'm kind of trying to throw shurikens at this Ari2 just to harass her down a little bit. Because what will happen is, as soon as I hit level 2, I'm going to be able to try and get in a favourable trade. You see here, I've just hit level 2. I get tagged by Ari's Q, which is like dumb. I shouldn't be doing that. But right here, I hit level 2, I level up my W, and then I do a pretty standard Zed trade, which is where you use your shadow close to the enemy, and then you throw your shurikens at them, and jump onto that shadow to try and get some extra basic attack harass off as well. I actually messed up this trade. Like, I could be absolutely dominating this lane right now. Like, look at our health, and I missed that double shuriken. And again, I go for another trade with my W, and I miss my shurikens again. Like, these are really bad mistakes by me, and Ari needs to try and take advantage of this. Whenever my W is on cooldown, I am pretty much very vulnerable. Whenever my Q is on cooldown, again, I can't trade her back. If she hits me with the charm, if she hits me with a few basic attacks, if my Q is on cooldown and my shadow's on cooldown, there is literally no way that I can trade back to that Ari unless I tag with my ignite or something to stop her from basic attacking me. But she doesn't do any of that. She doesn't really return any of the harass that I'm putting onto her. And so even though my trading is not perfect, it's still good enough because she's not doing anything back to me that I can still build small advantages. Like, I'm not sitting here and bragging about how much I'm dominating her in the lane, because I'm playing this quite poorly right now. Like, as far as my execution goes, it's bad. It's just that she is so afraid of me for some reason. She's playing extremely timid that she's not even trying to harass me back. Now, this is a little tactic which I use a few times in this game. Like, obviously, this ward is quite an obvious ward to put down just to scout out for Xin Zhao. But right here, you can see my positioning. It's not really that good, but you see my positioning is I'm just standing here. Like, I'm not going anywhere. And what my plan is here is I want Ari to think that I have left the lane. I want her to think that I've gone somewhere, so that she then lets her guard down and puts herself out of position, so I can come in, take her by surprise, and get a nice trade-off. Sadly, that doesn't really happen. She sees me, but then for some reason she walks up close to me again, and we do a nice trade. We both get really low on health, but sadly I can't pick up the kill. But still, another thing that's happened in this lane phase is that all the time I've been pressuring and bullying this Ari, she's not been CSing. She's not been harassing me, and she's not been CSing either. So she's in a really terrible situation. And now that her flash is down, it's going to be really hard for her, if I do catch her out again, to survive. Like, she's just not going to survive. I buy some really good snowball items, like just full damage, and I come back into the lane. She's not, when she goes back, she can't buy anything. She can't do anything to kind of increase her power to prevent me from dominating her. And now that this wave is pushing towards me as well, this minion wave, like, she has to come out into the open if she wants to try and contest some of these minions, or to try and get some experience. And as you see here, if she does push out, then she's pretty much a sitting duck for me. As soon as I hit level 5, I try my standard trade. That is a good Zed trade. I hit her with my shadow, and I tag with both my shurikens. But now this is a really, really classic mistake that people make playing versus Zed. They walk too close to the shadow, not realizing that I will just jump back to it. And because she doesn't have a flash, there we go. So the first kill of the lane phase goes down to me. I've been dominated the whole lane phase. I've been playing it quite poorly. And the way she could be avoiding this right now is that, well, obviously that was a mistake to walk near to her shadow. But still, she should have really been trading back with me. Like, I think Ahri versus Zed is not heavily in Zed's favor. You can kind of tell how the Zed wants to play by the items he buys at level 1. If he picks up a Doran's Shield at level 1, you can tell that he's probably just going to be passive and try to farm. If he picks up a Doran's Blade, you can probably see that he's going to try and go bring it at you a little bit, which is what I did this game. But this Ahri is giving me way too easy of a time. So I'm having a really, really nice time in my mid lane. It's pretty easy for me. Nothing, I couldn't be doing anything better. Well, I could be doing a lot of stuff better, but basically the situation couldn't be better for me as far as the position I'm in. And so if I'm doing well in my mid lane, this is now how you snowball the whole game, is you now go to different lanes and try to help them out. There's no point roaming before level 6 really when you're playing someone like Zed. But now that I see a good opportunity to go bot, my ulti's up, I jump in on them, I tag Tristan. I actually make a mistake and jump back to my ulti shadow, thinking that my ulti shadow was this one over here, not this one over here. I don't know why I did that, that was done by me, but still. And then when the enemy Zinzao tries to come in, he can't kill me either, so I just do damage to them and I back off. So I'm doing well from my mid lane, and now I'm snowballing my pressure that I'm having onto other lanes, which is really crucial if you want to, it's alright to win your own lane, but it's also you've got to win other lanes too. And now look at the items that I bought when I went back. This is something which you will not see that much, which is really, really underrated when it comes to snowballing games. It's vision. Stealth ward and a vision ward, a pink ward. I have 2 wards in my inventory, and these are really going to help me for 2 reasons. Obviously, firstly, it's going to stop me losing any pressure by getting ganked or something like that, because if I have vision, then I'll be able to see when the enemy jungler comes. But in addition to that, it means I can make so many plays. If I see where the enemies are, the more information I have regarding the position of the enemy team, then I can make better decisions myself. Now, this is just me trying to do the same thing I did previously, which is where I kind of come out of Fog of War thinking she's going to get too close. She's just a tiny bit out of position, enough for me to then get another bit of harass down onto her. To be honest, I think I can probably dive her right now. Like this trade right here, right now I should probably be jumping onto my shadow and then just killing her with my ulti. I'm not sure why I'm not doing that, but yeah, I should have done that. But still, I'm just basically right now, I'm not trying to, I get her anyway. I'm not trying to do anything fancy. I'm just pushing the wave down, putting so much pressure on her so that she can't see us, and I'm harassing her at every opportunity as well. And again, as soon as I get my kill, I try to roam onto a different lane. Now I know that Zinzao is following me, but it doesn't really matter that much because I'm pretty sure I can get a kill here. So I come in, I actually kind of failed pretty hard, but still. I come in, but there's a nice TP by Renekton as well. So it kind of limits me what I can do, but still. This is really what it's all about. We now force the TP from Renekton. So even though I haven't gone top once this game, because I roamed bot and started a fight, now it's how is Ryze doing? Ryze is not really doing too well in the top lane. He's not doing awfully, but he's not doing amazingly either. And now I've forced his top lane up from his lane. So he gets all this free CS, all this free XP. I've alleviated so much pressure from him without even going into the top lane. Because Renekton has had to come TP bot lane to stop me as well. So now that will help him out too. Although it kind of looks like Ryze hasn't taken advantage of that because he just recalled for some reason. But still, all of these opportunities that I'm creating are putting pressure everywhere. When you're playing mid lane, especially if you're playing a playmaking champion like Zed, I mean, I'm not doing this just because I'm Zed. I could be playing anyone really and be doing this. Anyone with relatively decent kill potential. I don't even need to be getting kills. I'm not roaming because Ahri's dead. I'm roaming because I have the opportunity to roam. I'm not specifically choosing. It's not because I'm able to kill Ahri in the lane that I'm then going over to roam different lanes. I'm just seeing opportunities to go, and I'm pushing the wave in and I'm roaming. I'm not freezing any of this because I don't really care about staying in my lane that much because I'm already head and shoulders above this Ahri. So there's no point staying there and putting her further behind because she's already really far behind. She can't do anything. So I may as well try and translate my advantages over to the other lanes. That's what I want to be doing because my other lanes aren't really doing amazingly right now. They're not, sucking terribly, but still, by themselves, they're definitely not winning. Now I pause this here because this is a kind of another sneaky tactic which I try and do in certain situations. I have vision to the right of me, vision to the left of me, and I'm just standing in the middle, meaning that I can see an enemy before they can see me. So then I can make a play on that. Like if I sit in this bush or I sit in this bush, I'm kind of dedicating to making a play over here or making a play over here. But if I sit in the middle with vision either side of me, I can see when the enemies are coming. And they can't see where I am either if we use this vision here. We didn't have vision on Dragon, sadly, so we didn't know where these guys were. But I'm here, I'm right here, and Zinzal's trying to come up to gank me, it looks like. And also, this is probably a situation where I was trying to sit here and like wait for Ari to come up to me. But I check Dragon, we see it's not down, or we see it's down, it's not up. And now this is our situation, my time to go in. Because I'm so far ahead of this Ari, I just go in, I wreck her a few hits. I get knocked up a really awkward time, but still, I get to kill her, and then I get to kill Xin as well. All of these times, if I was just playing passive and not really thinking about what to do, then I'm not going to get these opportunities. Of course, you could argue that the enemy teams are making mistakes, which is true, they are, but who doesn't make mistakes when you're playing in solo queue? Especially in lower elos, people will be making mistakes like this all the time. The thing is, if I had not been in this position, this would not have been a mistake by Xin and Ari. That's kind of what you have to think about, is that people are making mistakes 24/7. It's kind of like, if you want to use an analogy of like being a miner. So say you're a miner. Under the ground there is loads of stuff underground. Like, the earth is made up of quite a few things. And if you want to be mining these things, it's there for you to take. It's just if you're not there to mine it, then you can't get it. So all these mistakes are there for you to take. They're just sitting there waiting for you. But if you're not in the right position to take these mistakes and to take advantages from these mistakes, then they may as well not be there. You're not going to benefit from them. And I guess the mining analogy might not be perfect, but it's kind of like that. If you want to get your stuff, you have to get it. People are giving it to you, you're just not taking it. And this is just another opportunity for me to roam and make a play again. Onto this top lane instead, this time instead of bot lane. Sadly, Ryze isn't going to get an assist here, but still, I'm godlike and we're like really not far into this game. Like the rest of my team has 1 kill combined. 1 kill between the whole of my team, and I have 7. I'm trying my hardest to snowball not just my lane, but every other lane as well. And again, now that I've taken this mid tower here, this is when I want to be kind of careful. Because this is the time in the game where we don't, like, I'm not going to be staying in the lane that much. I mean, I've already not been staying in the lane, but I'm not even going to be able to, like, just lane, basically, because this tower is dead now. So what this means is that I'm going to be pushed out further, basically. So I need to be aware of that. I need to ward for that. I already warded this a little while ago, and now I've warded this as well. Like, the vision that I've had this game is just been very important for me snowballing hard. Like, this is a really important point. Like, I didn't pick up on this when I did it earlier, but I warded this bush here. I've already warded here. This pink ward has stayed forever, which is nice. And it's just, if I didn't have this vision, it would be so risky for me to make plays. Like, I can't really stress enough how important it is that this vision is for me in my decision making. Like, the only reason why I'm snowballing so hard right now is because of my decision making, because I'm deciding when to go in and when to do things. And if I don't have the vision, then I cannot make good decisions. I can't make reliable decisions. I will make bad decisions if I don't have vision. If I don't have vision and I go somewhere, then I don't know where people are. If there are too many people there, I'm going to fail. It's going to waste my time. I'm going to feed. And that's all bad stuff. People like to think that they just overlook the importance of vision. And this game, vision has been really important for me to knowing how to make these plays and where to go about them. You can see as well that I bought Moby Boots. Whenever I'm really fed in the mid lane and I'm playing a champion like Zed who I feel like I can roam a lot on, then I will buy Moby Boots just so I can roam from lane to lane. Of course, my item build is pretty standard. Runes of Mastery is, again, standard stuff of just flat AD rune page, 2190 masteries. Just doing a standard stuff. I'll put all that info in the description. But really right now, guys, right now I'm 8-0. This game is pretty easy for me. There's nothing really to say. I can just go and kill people myself, like, no problem. Like, I just 1v1 straight up Renekton, who was destroying our Ryze in the top lane. Let's see how I get out of this one. I think this is another example of vision as well. So I put a trinket ward down here. Now, why this is so critical is it lets me see where the enemy team is going for us to make a play. Like, I saw that Tristana hesitated here, and because Tristana hesitated, it meant that I had enough time to play onto the Zins out here and kill him. Obviously, Nami did a nice roam too. But still, vision is key, guys. That's really a pretty important thing to talk about when it comes to snowballing. So that's really all I want to say, because I don't want to make this video too long, and I think right now I'm 10-0. If I lose this game, it's completely on my head. I've been given the tools to win this game, and I really should win it. It's just, I think the key points that I want you to take away from this video, like I say, this is not a brag video by any means. It's just that you really, the 3 important things. Number 1 is the vision control, especially once you've taken your tower down. It's really hard for you to make good decisions when you don't have good vision. The second point that I want to make is about not just staying in your own lane, going to other lanes and trying your hardest to snowball those as well. If you see situations to kill people or to help your lane out, I got like 2 or 3 gangs bot lane. I did a gang top lane. I drew Renekton's teleport from top lane. I had my pressure from mid translated pretty well across the whole map, which meant that my teammates benefited from it, whether that was directly or indirectly, like with Rise top. That's the second a really important thing to happen as well. You don't just want to sit in your lane. So well and good you stomp one person, but then when you come out of the lane phase and there's 4 really fed enemy teams, it's better to just not stomp one person so hard, but then to try and help your other team, your other members out as well. And the third important thing was a point about the enemy team, the mistakes the enemy team made. The biggest one being, well, probably 2 big ones is, like, if we take a look at the enemy vision, this is around the time I was getting pretty fed. I wasn't even fed yet, sorry. But let's see, if we skip forward here, this is the time I've got 2 kills. Look at the vision here. The vision here is atrocious. I mean, this isn't even vision, this is just a replay bug. There's no vision here, there's no vision here. The only vision on the map are 2 wards here. Like, that's all there is. Literally, the only wards on the... Actually, there's another one down here too, sorry. But these wards aren't going to do anything. Even as this ward, you might think this ward will protect you from Tribush gangs. It doesn't. If I've got Moby boots, then the first time you're going to see me is here. If you are positioned here on the lane, which is what the enemy team were quite a few times, then by the time you see me, I'm going to come in and I'm going to kill you. Like, this ward does not protect you from that. Someone needs to be warding here, especially if you know specifically that the mid laner like me is roaming and killing you. This needs to be warded. There's no 2 ways about it. It has to be warded. You have to stop me from coming and killing you. This really won't cut it unless you're already, like, under your tower, in which case, why would I come gank you? Because you're under your tower, I can't kill you. So that is a pretty big mistake. And also just the trading mechanics. Just because I do so much damage to this Ahri doesn't mean that you should always be afraid of me. Because once my stuff's on cooldown, I can't trade back with you. Like we saw in the early lane phase. Let's see if I can skip back here. Right here. I missed my double Q, and my W's on cooldown. What can I do to Ahri right now? I can do absolutely nothing to her. Now, this is a mistake she made, not getting level 2 early, letting me get level 2 early. Not CSing stuff properly either. But she's way too scared of me, and she can trade back really nicely, and she's not, like, again, I make another mistake. This is just really bad by me. She comes in and she tries to get me. She needs to get this meaningful harass off onto me so that I'm not just bullying her, or I'm not making these mistakes which she's not taking them. This goes back to my mining analogy, the point I was making about the enemy team making mistakes, but they're not really mistakes unless I'm there to capitalize on them. It's the exact same thing here. I'm making mistakes, but because she's not capitalizing on them, I may as well not making these. Like, these are bad plays by me. These are things which should be exploited. But she didn't do it, and therefore I may as well have not made the mistake. So that's what I want to talk about for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about these kind of videos. I do like breaking down stuff, but at the same time I feel kind of cheeky because I like to analyze situations, like extreme situations, usually stuff which went really well or really bad. And at the same time I kind of feel bad exposing these kind of things, or I feel like you guys think I'm just like, oh, look how good I am. But I hope you learned some things anyway. That's the important stuff. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And I will see you in my next video.